I am going to make a book review about a book, spoiler alert, that I really did not like. And it's very rare. I've not made a book review anyway in a while, and it's very, very rare for me to make book reviews about books I don't like because I kind of just don't bother mentioning them. But this one was so bad that I just feel I need to. I owe it to the public to make a video about it. Now, the last time I made a book review about something that I didn't like, it got a lot of hate, and it was many, many, many years ago, and people were not happy that I did not like the book. It was a very popular book, to be fair. It was The Quiet American. I do have a video up, but I don't think it's worth watching because it wasn't a review. It was just me stating that I didn't like it, and people didn't like that. So just a warning, I don't mean to offend anyone. I know that a lot of hard work goes into writing books as well, so like I don't want to offend the author. And if you're a fan of the author, my opinion shouldn't change your opinion of them, and you should still be able to enjoy the books without necessarily being affected by my opinion, hopefully. Or you can just not watch this video. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, although I might be a little bit hypocritical in this video. So the book I'm talking about is called Think Before It's Too Late by Edward de Bono. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know. And basically what happened was I was looking for an audiobook on my library app, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna read something non-fiction. Maybe this will be the year of reading a bit more non-fiction. Because I read a book, a non-fiction book, earlier this year. I think it was called Big Magic, which I loved. And that was a non-fiction as well. And that was a huge success. I was so happy to have read it. And I was like, I want something along those lines. Like, I liked reading a non-fiction book, which I didn't think I would. And I like the kind of books that make you think. So I looked up on my library app, non-fiction books, whatever. And then obviously the title of this really intrigued me. I was like, oh, Think Before It's Too Late. That sounds interesting. And then I read the blurb and that sounded really interesting as well. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. This book, I feel like I learned so little from it and that it wasn't worth the whatever 6, 7, 8 hours it was. It was a 5-hour book. And in the first half hour alone, I was like, all I'm listening to, all I'm learning is that this Edward de Bono has basically saved the planet single-handedly. And he was reading it himself. And it just felt so, what's the word? Not arrogant, like big-headed. I can't think of the right word though. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with like being proud of your achievements, not at all. But this was literally half an hour's worth of him just rambling on about the amazing things he'd done. And I was like, hey, guess what? I'm here to learn. I want to read stuff that I can then apply into my own life to see it get better. I don't care about the stuff you've already done. If I was reading a biography, different. I would be knowing what to expect. But I'm not reading this book to hear about all your amazing things. I'm only reading this book because I want to learn, and I'm not learning. So the first half hour was just that, and then it started talking about various things that maybe I was like, oh, I could learn some things here. But then between every second or third sentence, there was again some sort of self-proclamation of amazingness. And it just drove me mad. It got so frustrating. To the point where like, he would be telling this story and I would be like, I know how this is gonna end. This is gonna end with you fixing something. And at one point he was talking about, I think it was like cancer or a disease or something. And he was saying like, oh, this horrible thing happened, blah, blah, blah. And I was like sarcastically, jokingly in my head saying, oh, I bet you fixed it. And then literally like a few sentences later, he was like, and I came up with the thing for this. So I can only encourage you to read this book if you are willing to sit and listen to or read a 5.5 hour long book that is just one person talking about how amazing they are for the entire time, basically, with a few good bits of information in between. It's very rare that I get this passionate about a book I dislike, or anything I dislike. I usually, if I don't like something, I just kind of accept it and move on from it. But this has been in my head for so long. Well, that's not true. It's only been like a few weeks, but like it's just constantly in my head. I'm like, this was the most frustrating book to read. And I think it's the first time I've reviewed a book below 3 stars. Although I'm not sure about The Quiet American, what I ranked it at the time. But the thing is, I wish I'd checked my story graph before I started reading this book, because the score is at something like 2.5 stars. And I think if I'd read some of the reviews, like so many people said they didn't even bother finishing the book because it was just him rambling on about how amazing he is. Luckily, I finished it within like 1 day, but my goodness, I can't not recommend it enough. Stay clear of it is what I would say. And you know what? I really do feel bad saying that. I don't think it's nice to discourage people from reading books, and look, by all means, go ahead and read it. But for me, it was a very frustrating, infuriating read that I just needed to finish and put away. I was like, I can't keep listening to this. And I was just so sad because Big Magic was so good. It's by a totally different author, different topic, everything. Yeah, this book just wasn't the one for me. It's okay. We all have different preferences and different writing styles and different reading styles. And clearly this guy has done a lot of good work. It's just a shame that he felt the need to brag about it all in his book. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going round in circles. Let me know if you've read it. I'd be very interested to hear other people's opinions. And genuinely, if you liked it, please let me know, because I want to know why you liked it. I want to know if I missed something. If there was like some hidden meaning with it all, or if I was reading it wrong or listening to it wrong. I'm really genuinely curious. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll see you all soon. Bye.